Good morning, friends, and welcome to our October video email. I want to kick off our video with talking about some awesome wins that have been happening that we've been collecting over the past few weeks. The first one is my favorite. There was a lady named Crystal that came to our church for the very first time, and she met Stephanie Brady, who is an incredible volunteer, just very life-giving, positive, loving person. So Stephanie greets her in her awesome Stephanie way and walks her through, is giving her the tour, and Crystal literally started to cry because she was so welcomed at our church, because she had had some bad church experiences, and just because of first impressions, we were able to make such an impact to her in the experience that she had that she literally started to cry and to profusely thank Stephanie for showing her around. So I ain't got no words. That's just incredible. Our second win is that we had, on average, about 20 volunteers for every single one of our First Impressions team for our 10-year anniversary, which was crazy. Pastor Josh kept asking me, like, how many people do you think we're gonna have on these teams? And I was like, I for real have no idea. But we have blasted it out. We have asked all of our volunteers to step up, and you all stepped up in a way that has never been done at Coastal before. I am pretty confident to say that we have never had 20 volunteers on every single First Impressions team for an event like that. So thank you guys so much. That is just wildly incredible. You're the best. One of those many volunteers that stepped up is a guy named Steve. And he's not even in First Impressions, but he was like, hey, I'll come and join you. And Steve Mashad, he's lovely. He's our Santa some years for Christmas, for those of you that maybe know him. And so he was over there stacking some cups for us, getting some things set up really nicely. And then there was this guy that came up to him and wanted to talk, and Steve stepped away from what the admin work he was doing to have this moment with this guy, was able to pray with him, and it was just really beautiful. It was a volunteer that we normally don't even have volunteering that stepped up and lived out what we do on First Impressions. He put aside the admin activities and he focused on the guest and the need that guest was bringing to him. So way to go, Steve. You killed it. And the last win that I want to share with you guys, not that we don't have 5,000 wins that I could share, these are just a few that I picked out from the past few weeks, but the Camillo family, who has really stepped up together saying we want to volunteer as a family, and they jumped in, and the week of our 10-year anniversary, they were running our shirt tables, they were helping with bounce houses, they were just killing it. And so I just love seeing that whole family come together and say, we're gonna do this, we're gonna take ownership and join a team. So thank you guys for getting involved. We love you. I wish I had put Steve's win at the end, because it would have been a great segue into what I'm gonna say next, but that's okay, live and learn. So what I wanted to talk about this month is leading with people as our first and primary objective, and remembering to keep all of our admin activities very secondary to our main purpose of leading with people. So whether it's, greeting people in, making sure that they have a seat in the auditorium, or whether it's running and setting up the pizza tables for Saturday night, or restocking the bathrooms, to be mindful that those are very secondary and temporal activities to our main purpose and mission of making sure that we create a great experience and a great atmosphere for our guests to feel welcomed into. So what does that look like? A few things is, one, we never say no to guests. So it's a terrible experience for a guest if we say, I'm sorry, you can't do that, or we don't allow guests to do that, or you're not allowed here, you can't have that. Instead, what I like to try and do, because I'm a Tennessean and that's how we roll, is to redirect behavior. Say, for example, let's say that a guest is trying to go into the green room, where we've designated a space for our worship band, because that worship band is serving every single service all weekend, and so they need a place to chill, and then to also have their own community. So let's say that we see a guest going in there. What I can instead say is, instead of saying, no, you're not allowed in there, I can say, hey, did you know that we have a hub space over here? It has the best couches in this whole church. Trust me, I've tried them all. It's right over here. Also, did you get some free tea and coffee when you came in today? So I'm trying, again, to redirect them to the behavior that I want them to have, but I'm not telling them no to this. So that is a little insider tip. And that, again, that's what we want to promote. Instead of telling someone no, we just redirect the behavior. Yeah. And second, if you're in the middle of an admin activity, let's say that you were on your way back to get tables, or maybe if you're in the auditorium, we ran out of the little cards that you put on the seat, and so you're trying to figure out how to get more of those cards, but you're interrupted by a guest. Be mindful in those moments to delegate to another volunteer standing by. Hey, Mary, hey, Joe, would you be able to go and get these tables for me? So you can pass off the activity that you needed to get done, and you can be mindful in that moment with the guest that has approached you, because again, that is the number one most important thing that we can do. That is eternal. That experience that guest is having, and which hopefully leads them into a relationship with Christ, that is eternal. The admin activities are very temporal, and they support that experience, but they're not as important as the atmosphere and the experience that we're creating for our guest. So sorry if this was a little bit of a long-winded email, but I just wanted to get that out there to you guys so that you remember to lead with people. Lead first with people. I love you. I hope you have a great month, and you're awesome. Okay, bye.